Good morning students. Today I will teach class 8th chapter 6, that is combustion and flame. As we know, we use different types of fuels for various purposes at home and industries. We use different types of fuels for running automobiles or for cooking in the home. So these are the different fuels that are used in our day-to-day life. So here I have listed some common examples of fuel, that is you can see that are underlined red in color: cow dung, wood, coal, charcoal, petrol, diesel, compressed natural gas, that is CNG, are the main fuels that are used in day-to-day life. So here is a question, that is, what is the difference between the burning of candle and burning of fuel like coal? Can you able to give the answer of this question? Yes. If we burn a candle burn with flame, whereas coal does not. It doesn't give us a flame which is bright in color, but it give a smoke. So here is a difference between the burning of candle and the burning of coal. So there are number of different things which we can see which burn with flame or which burn with smoke. So here the question arises, what is combustion? So before answering to this question, I want to say some example here. If you take a magnesium ribbon which burn to form magnesium oxide and produces heat and light. Similarly, if a piece of charcoal, if you take a piece of charcoal and hold it with a tongue and bring it near the flame, you will observe the charcoal burns in air. It produces carbon dioxide with large amount of heat and light. So we can say the combustion is a process during which a chemical process in which a substance react with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. So combustion is a process in which a substance react with oxygen to give heat or light or carbon dioxide is called combustion. So here the substance that undergo combustion is said to be combustible. So that the charcoal and the candle are the combustible substances or fuel. So fuel is said to be any substance which are going to be burn or which are combustible in nature. So fuel may be solid, liquid or gas. So you have to give the examples of fuel which are solid, which are liquid or which are gas. So in combustible reactions, a flame or glow is also seen, that is also called a combustible reaction. So in these reactions, magnesium and charcoal are combustible substances. So for our body, food is a fuel for our body. So question arises, how a food is a fuel? So answer to this question is, in our body, food is broken down by reaction with oxygen and heat is produced. Yes, it produces heat. How we came to know it produces heat? As we taken food, it broke down into carbon dioxide and gave us a large amount of energy which will help us to do a regular work of a day. So that's why food is also a fuel for our body. So here is activity number 6.1 for you. You have to listed the items which are combustible and non-combustible. So combustible items which can burn and produce heat or light. So non-combustible which cannot produce heat or light. So here are the materials you have given. Here you can write this table or draw this table and write the answer to these questions on your classwork as well as homework notebook. So there are number of combustible substances which are known to us. So here the question is, what are the things that are necessary for burning a substance. So it will be clear from activity number 6.2. So here you can see the three different type of instrumental apparatus here. So here in one we burn a candle which is placed on a cardboard having a place empty space at the bottom, and jar is placed over it or chimney is placed over it. In the second, we have no empty space at the bottom of the cardboard, and the upper side of the chimney is open. In the third case, the bottom and the bottom and the upper side of the chimney both are closed. So when we burn a candle and set the apparatus like this, we will see the following observation is here. So in this, the candle burn freely in case A when air can enter the chimney from below. So when air is entered from the below of the chimney, so it can burn freely. In the second case, when air does not enter the chimney from the below, the flame flickers and produces smoke. As you see in the figure number 2, it gives the smoke. But in third, when the upper part of the chimney is also closed, then a flame is burned without smoke or any flame. So does in 3 you can see the flame finally goes off, the air is not available. So we can say that air is necessary for the burning of any substances. So here kept in mind the main materials to burn a substance is air. So here the activity tell us that air is necessary. So in the next we have read the sun produces its own heat and light. It is also some kind of combustion, because sun produces heat and light are produced by nuclear reaction. Hence sun is not produce heat by burning, so it is not combustion. So we can say that. So here is activity number 6.3. It can also be done by you at home. So take a piece of burning wood or charcoal on tawa. So cover it with a glass or transparent jar. After some time you will see charcoal stop burning. So why it is stop burning? Because the supply of air is cut off. So that's why it stop burning. So here is one more example. When the cloth of a person catches fire, the person is covered with a blanket to extinguish the fire. So here you can see a person is covered with the blanket. So the question arises, why the person is covered with the blanket? So the answer is, a person is covered with a blanket so that we can cut off the supply of the air which is contact with the person and the flame. So when we cut off the supply, the burning can be stopped. So here the next is, does a matchstick burn by itself? No. But how does it burn? Sometimes you see a burning of piece of paper when a burning matchstick is brought near. But by the similar matchstick, a piece of wood is not burned. So for that we use paper, kerosene oil to start fire in wood or coal. Sometimes we have heard the forest catches fire. So here the question is, how this burning of substance take place? So during summers you can see the dry gas catches fire and spread all over the whole forest. So it is very difficult to control such fire. So the question arises, how these substances catches fire? Some substances catches fire with this same matchstick, but the piece of log doesn't catch fire with the same matchstick. So why it is happen? So, different substances catch fire at different temperatures. So, the answer is any substance catch fire at a particular temperature. So, every substance has his or her own temperature to catch fire. So, that temperature, the lowest temperature at which the substance catches fire is called its ignition temperature. So, the temperature at which the minimum to minimum temperature that is required to catch a fire is called its ignition temperature. So, when a matchstick is rubbed against the side of the matchbox, it catches fire because it gets its ignition temperature, that's why it catches fire. So, here is a history of the matchstick. You have to know what the material is around the matchstick and matchbox. Here antimony trisulfide and potassium chlorate are on the head of the match, safety match. So, the rubbing surface has powdered glass and little red phosphorus, which is much less dangerous. So, when this then this potassium chlorate is rubbed against the red phosphorus, the red phosphorus gets converted into white phosphorus. So, immediately that react with potassium chlorate, which is present on the stick of the matchstick. So, immediately react with potassium chlorate and produce enough heat to ignite antimony trisulfide. It's antimony trisulfide and the combustion starts. So, every substance has its own ignition temperature. So, combustible substances cannot catch fire or burn as long as its temperature is lower than its ignition temperature. So, substance doesn't catch fire if the temperature is less than its ignition temperature. For example, kerosene oil doesn't get fire of its own. When we supply a heat to the kerosene oil, it catches fire, but when the same heat is supplied to the wood, it doesn't catch fire. So, which means ignition temperature of kerosene oil is lower than the wood. So, that's why it doesn't catches fire. So we have to take a special care while using kerosene oil in kitchen or in any laboratory or while storing. If kerosene oil is placed in sunlight, even it catches fire. So, its ignition temperature is very low. So, here is the activity which will also be done by you. So, if we take a paper funnel or sheet of paper by folding to form a cup, or if we take a paper cups, in one cup we add a little amount of water, in other we have no water. The paper cup which has water take time to burn, but the paper cup which has no water burn immediately. So, it will happen because the heat supplied to the paper cup is transferred to water by conduction. So, in the presence of water, the ignition temperature of paper cup is not reached. So, hence it doesn't burn. But on the other side, the paper cup which has no water burn with its ignition temperature. So, here the substance which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire are called inflammable substances. So, what are inflammable substances? The substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire. So, they are inflammable substances. For example, petrol, alcohol, LPG are the examples of inflammable substances. So, here the question is, how do we control fire? If we see any fire breaking out in home, shops, we call at the fire services in our near area. So, we have to know the telephone number of that fire services. So, when a fire bridge arrives, it pour water on the fire. So, water cools the combustible material and make its ignition temperature low. So the main purpose of water vapor is to cut the supply of air. So we can cut the supply of air by adding by spreading water on that fuel. So mainly there are three essential requirements for producing fire. So fuel, air or heat. So fire can be controlled by removing any of these requirements. So we have to cut the supply of air or bring down the temperature of the fuel or both. But we cannot eliminate the fuel. So if the building catches fire, the whole building is the fuel. So next is here the most common fire extinguisher is water. It can only work on wood or paper, but it cannot work on electrical equipments that is on fire, because when we spread water on the electrical equipment, it conduct electricity and harm to the person. So water is also not suitable for involving oil and petrol. Because as water is heavier than oil, it sinks below the oil and oil keep burning on the top. So for these types of objects which catches fire, we use another best extinguisher, that is carbon dioxide is the best extinguisher. As carbon dioxide is heavier and heavier than oxygen and cover the fire like blankets. So the contact between the fuel and oxygen is cut off and the fire is controlled. So another advantage is it doesn't harm the electrical equipment. So how we get that carbon dioxide? So it can be stored in higher pressure in a liquid cylinder. So when it releases, carbon dioxide expand and cool down, and it is not only form a blanket around the fire but also lower the temperature. So another way to get carbon dioxide is we use a dry powder of chemicals like sodium bicarbonate, potassium bicarbonate near the fire, which give off the carbon dioxide. So in this way we can say that carbon dioxide is a good source of fire extinguisher. So it can be used on oil and petrol, or it can be used on electrical equipments. So in next lecture we will discuss about the different types of combustions and also about flame. So I will attach the PDF file along with this video. You can write the work in classwork as well as homework notebook.